Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. Today I have an email from a woman who says, "You have some of the best advice out there from all the videos I've watched." Well, thank you very much. I was in a 6-month relationship with a man who was not experienced with women and relationships. He's 39 and I'm 33. We had a great relationship and argued once when he first met me because he flaked on a date to do yard work. Okay, so let me stop you right there. Why are you arguing because he flaked? Arguing always lowers interest level. And so basically you're getting angry and saying, well, you don't like me as much as I want you to like me. You need to like me more, because if you liked me more, then you wouldn't flake. But the fact is, how much someone likes you at any point in time is going to depend on a lot of things. And one of those things is going to be how you behave. And calling them out on it or arguing about it is not going to raise their interest level. And so you might think, well, I need to say something or else they're going to do it again. Fine. Let people do what they're going to do because you want to see where their interest level is through their actions. And so if they show you time and time again that they're not that interested, then it's up to you to do something rather than trying to talk or argue them into liking you more, because that never works. Okay, moving on. He's everything I wanted in a man, except he had 2 issues. One was trust, and the other is his ability to express his feelings. So, trust is the foundation of any type of relationship. When you say, oh, he's great, he's just got these 2 issues, one trust and can't express his feelings, that's like saying, oh, I met this guy, he's a great guy, except, he's a bank robber, but other than that, he's a great guy. So it's not how many issues there are, but what the issues are. And if you don't have trust, then it's like having a cell phone with no cell service. All you can do is play games. Okay, moving on. After 6 months of dating, I asked him where this was going, and he said he didn't know, and that he wasn't sure if he loves me. He also said that his high school girlfriend from 20 years ago broke his heart and he can't trust me. Oh, poor baby. So I'm assuming you're having sex, and so his heart isn't broken to the point where he can't have sex. It's just broken to the point where he can't trust you. Come on. What does A have to do with B? He had his heart broken 20 years ago, so now he can't trust you, a different person 20 years later? Come on, man. That's total BS. And maybe he believes it, but so what? It's still not going to hold up. After 3 days of talking, I was hurting to the point where I no longer wanted to be with him. I came home from his house that day crying, sent him a text message saying that I wanted to end the relationship. He responded and said that's a great idea. While I know this is the worst thing you can do to break up via text, I was hurt and emotional and wanted him to react and fix it. Yeah, so basically you did a fake breakup where you didn't like the way they were acting, and so instead of talking about it, you just say, well, that's it, it's over. Here's your goodbye text. And you want them, because you think they're going to come back and go, no, don't break up with me. Come back. Someone only does that if they have a very high interest level. But here's the thing. If someone has a very high interest level, they wouldn't be behaving the way that this guy was behaving. They wouldn't be behaving in a way that would make you want to break up with them. And therefore, you wouldn't have to. So doing a fake breakup thinking that the other person's going to beg you, yeah, it sometimes works. But as you can see in this case, it actually backfired. She says, I was hurt and emotional. I want him to fix it. Okay, but instead I made him angry and he ghosted me. Yeah, because, again, he already told you that he wasn't sure if he loved you and there wasn't trust. So instead of being upset and talking for 3 days, if someone says, I don't know if they love you. I don't know if I love you. And I was hurt 20 years ago, so I can't trust you. Okay, that's your cue to exit stage left. It's not your cue to stay there and argue and talk for 3 days and then do a fake breakup. She continues, the reason why I called it off was he dragged his past relationship and compared me to his ex. Right. He lives in the moment and doesn't plan anything beyond the next weekend. That's because he's not that interested. Because if he was interested, when someone's interested, they are planning things far into the future and not just talking about them like, oh, it'd be great to go to Mexico with you. That's not planning. That's just making a statement. But if someone's really interested, they'll say, hey, why don't we plan to do this 6 months from now, whatever, as opposed to next weekend. I'm now looking back and seeing that I ended things too prematurely and rushed to the future question. Well, that I would agree with. It's rarely a good idea to ask where this is going. You can tell where it's going by someone's actions. Who told women to ask guy, where's this going? That's like the stupidest question. Well, not the stupidest, but definitely one of the stupidest questions you can ask a guy in a relationship. And it's usually women asking that. You'd rarely hear a guy saying, where's this going? I've never had a guy. Well, one time. Okay. I don't know if I should contact him or wait for him to initiate. No. Do not contact him. You've broken up with him. And if you now go back on your word, you think he didn't trust you before, he's really not going to trust you now. So if there's enough interest there on his part, he's going to think about the things that transpired and he will contact you at some point. But do not contact him. Even though you're the one that broke up with him, I'm telling you, do not contact him. It's not going to make things better. His interest level needs to rise, and you're not going to help it go up by first breaking up with him and then contacting him. You're actually going to make it go down. So this is why you want to think twice about initiating a fake breakup, because if the person calls your bluff, then you're in this situation, and then you have to wait and see what happens, okay? So if you have any questions or comments or would like my help with private coaching, you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, please subscribe. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.